average speed, for commute in Indian cities is around 20 to 21 kilometers per hour, which compared to, developed countries is actually, on a little bit on the lower side. Now again, when you come to average speeds, what impact does this have? For a person who wants to commute, let's say about 15 kilometers, to go to any particular place within the city, it takes about 45 minutes to 60 minutes. This is actually largely unproductive time, right? That is issue number one. Issue number two also is that because if this is road transport, then it also leads to more carbon emissions, depending on, what time of the day, etc. So both these points, if you look at it, are the pressing need for the current era which India is in, where we are building metros, RRTS and high-speed rail systems, which actually addresses this issue and changes the way urban transport is about to happen. This will also have a big impact on sustainability and our vision of becoming carbon neutral as a country by 2070. Let me give a few examples of different cities in the world which are actually using various means of sustainability. So I'll give an example of Copenhagen. Copenhagen actually is going to become, as a city, carbon neutral this year in 2025. And one of the key aspects of contributing to this carbon neutrality in 2025 is actually its metro. So Copenhagen metro, through its regenerative braking, efficient use of energy for the trains and the stations, is actually becoming a very integral part for the city's ambition of achieving carbon neutrality. Closer home, Delhi metro also uses, they have the solar panels on the stations, which contributes to its energy needs. So various aspects. So metro by itself not only addresses the challenges of urban transport and commute, increasing passenger, convenience and reduced times and decongesting the city, but also in terms of, the example I gave, for helping a more sustainable environment and future, it can play a key role.
So as I'm representing NCRTC, so we all know this is a RRTS system. The topic here is sustainability, and what Nirav has questioned about, something about the policies and speed. Yeah, so that is the edge of NCRTC. It's a RRTS system. Design speed of 180 kmph. So what it yield to a common man? So as we have MRTS system in various states, almost we have done 1,000 kilometers across the country. So the average speed comes to around 25-30 kmph. So covering maybe 30 kilometers of the urban area in 1 hour. So RRTS will bring that change, that the average speed is going to be 85 to 90 kmph, and you are covering around 90 to 100 kilometers in 1 hour. So that is a difference what RRTS brings into the urban mobility. So it's good that now we have a established MRTS system. So our concentration is towards speed, how to increase the speed of travel, so that a commuter can save his time and put to the productive activities, not in the travel at least. About the sustainability aspect, what we are discussing is railways as such, being a metro rail, is already moving on electricity. Since the metro systems are born, it's on electricity. So they are sustainable mode compared to the other private vehicles mode if we talk about. We are now taking to the power generation from the renewable sources. So that is a point of what we are achieving doing sustainable. Most of the stations built by metro or RRTS are going to be net zero, saving, that means low carbon productivities. All initiatives are being taken. But the main agenda remains here is the ease of commuter. What we are doing for that. So as Nirav has pointed out and asked me about integration. So the subject topic is here, integration is a big, we introduce a new system in a city. We have existing bus routes, existing railway system, or even metro as far as NCR is concerned. So bringing RRTS, how it will integrate. So that is how what we have make a difference here. We have integrated the phase 1-3 corridors. One is under implementation, 2 are under planning. So those are being integrated from the 10 lines of Delhi Metro at a various interchange stations, so that ease of commuters can be there, and 15 interchange stations are being planned. Now, one more thing we have done in integration part, there is when we travel in one system and travel to other system, we obviously have to, there is a physical integration need. Like if you're traveling in RRTS, MRT is a separate system, we have to change the train. But within our system, what we have done, we are planning a 3 corridor, we bring interoperability. Means a person starting from Meerut can go to Panipat Karnal or SNB Alwar in the same train. So that point we have reduced that there is no interchange required within our system. So that will provide a commuter ease, no hassle of interchange, no time involved in the interchange. So that is what we bring into the RRTS system. And one question what Nirav asked about policy differences. Now, as far as NCRTC is concerned, it's a joint venture between the Government of India and the participating states. So, participating states of Government of Haryana, Government of Rajasthan, Government of Uttar Pradesh and GNCTD are the participating states with equal share in the equity. But our project structure is somewhat differentiating, where the project is being financed by the respective kilometers in the each corridor is having. So that kind of differentiate we bring it, and this is helping us to multiply the corridors in a big leap. So the each corridor, depending on the contributing state, how they are financing, accordingly their differences, their liabilities towards those state government only where the kilometer length is coming in the respective states. So that is a policy difference we have done in NCRTC. Now beyond this, like our first corridor is almost 67 kilometers complete, 55 kilometers we have operational out of the 82 kilometers, and the balance is also in the test trials and CMRS. So soon we are going to operate the balance section also. But we have done, as Sir has told, that there is a challenges towards the first mile and last mile. So that all metros are facing. We are also doing a lot of integration with the service providers, and accordingly the common usage like the taxi owners and the Rapido is being integrated. Ticketing integration is done so that we can book a ticket from a common platform. All booking can be done. NCMC compliance has been done from the day one. So these all initiatives are done, but a lot more to be done, both in Metro and RRTS, to bring the integration. Like still we have planned FOB, we are taking to Sarai Kalekha in the Indian Railway structure. In Anand Vihar, we have already done the integration with the Indian Railways. So a lot more coming up. We are continuously moving on that to make out how the ease can be provided to the commuter. Beyond the comfortable environment, comfortable sitting, some points of safety to the woman coach, beyond it. What more we can do? Beyond inclusivity, even we are providing a stretcher conveyor lifts and coaches so that the sick people can be travel across the NCR. So what we are providing is a regional system which will sit over the existing metro system and increase the average speed of a commuter. So that is what is the future. This is a high speed system. Similarly, India is going towards a high speed system also, which will further increase the speed of travel of the commuters. That is what multiply the economic development in the urban scenarios, decongest the urban scenarios, and regional development will happen across the India. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So I think I really, the point which clearly came across was on the integration. So when we look at a entire network, let's say for a national capital region, I think the things that come to mind is that in order to have a truly seamless multimodal system, requires, what I understood from you, requires integration on various aspects. One is from the commuter standpoint, to be able to do an integrated journey across different modes and availability of hassle-free ticketing for that. I mean, it's obviously going to be very inconvenient if I need to take ticket in one mode and then, change that. So something like a single QR code for integrated ticketing and being able to plan my entire journey from point A to point B seamlessly. The other important aspect that you touched upon was the physical infrastructure. So I think once the first bit is addressed, other important bit is also the physical infrastructure to enable multimodal. When I want to do a transit between mode A to mode B, if my physical infrastructure is connected, it is going to make it very much more convenient for the commuters, because in Indian cities where weather conditions etc. are also can get harsh sometimes, if you can provide this seamless physical integration, it may really help the commute in the urban areas. I think on that point, maybe my next question I will ask Pankaj ji over here. So with technology advancements and a lot of conversation around artificial intelligence, various amounts of data which is being generated in public transit systems, I would like to ask you that what are the innovations that you have seen in the projects that you're doing, from the perspective of easing multimodal, from the data and insights that you are generating with the automatic fare collection systems, because that can play a key role in planning in terms of how the scheduling, how the pricing etc. can be done. So any aspects that you want to talk about from the technology standpoint?
Thanks, Nirav. This is very relevant question, I think. So technology, as we know, is playing a huge role in making all the journeys seamless and connected, bringing a lot of innovations. Many of them are now AI based also in every solution we are delivering to customer. So I think in his keynote address, Bharat San has already spoken about the vast range of technology solutions Hitachi provides for metro and rail industry, right from the rolling stock, then energy, signaling and telecom. So I will focus on the fare collection part, which is our focus area. So as Bharat San said in his keynote speech, our relationship with Delhi Metro is now 22 years old. Since inception, we have been providing fare collection and ticketing solutions to Delhi Metro since 2002 through various contracts. And in the current contract which we are implementing for Delhi Metro, which is called DS24, it is the largest Metro AFC upgrade project in India, and I think maybe in the world once completed, where we have upgraded more than 7,000 equipments from multiple OEMs, various OEMs, at 256 stations in a brownfield project. So you can imagine the complexity and the difficulty of migrating the old systems coming from different OEMs to a common platform of Hitachi, enabling it on NCMC, QR and UPL. So now all 256 stations, now I think 260 stations are upgraded to our platform. Plus the second part of this project is the greenfield also, where the new lines of DMRC, the phase 3, the new stations, I think one of the station was recently launched by our Honorable Prime Minister. So we are putting our latest technology solutions on the those stations as well. Some of the innovations which you asked about, which we have delivered in this project to DMRC, and I think we both are proud to say this is first, many of them are first in India. So, and some of those solutions are on display at our booth also. I invite you to see and experience those solutions. So one of the solution is automatic swing barrier. So earlier, and this brings the inclusivity also in the subject, right? So many times we have seen on railway stations and other transport mode stations, that they are not very conveniently accessible for the passengers on wheelchair or differently able people, right? So for that, actually, at every metro station and BRT station also, there used to be swing gates, but they were manually operated by someone. So whenever any passenger on wheelchair comes, somebody will open the door and they will pass. Now, first time in India, in any metro, we have launched automatic swing barrier. In the greenfield new stations of DMRC, you can see, like Krishna Park is already live, where we have implemented automatic swing barrier first time in any metro. So we have integrated validators, which has NCMC and QMR capability on both the sides of gate, and now it opens automatically. So whenever any passenger is coming on wheelchair, you just need to show a valid QR ticket, the gate will open automatically, and same way the exit will happen. So this is one of the example of innovation, making the life of differently able passengers easier with the technology intervention. Another equipment which we have launched for Delhi Metro first time is cashless smart machine. That is also on display on our booth. It's a very sleek, compact box which can be installed, mounted on the pole anywhere at this station, and it is totally manless, self-sufficient terminal. So you can do QR ticket, NCMC top-up, you can buy a paper QR ticket by paying by UPI or any digital mode, and it makes their life, so they don't need to go to the bulky TVM machines. It's a very small, sleek box which can do 80% of the functions of TVM. So like this, many functionalities also we have launched in last 2 years, which are also first in India for DMRC, like multi-journey QR ticket. So earlier the QR ticket was one-time use ticket. You buy it, you use it, and then it is useless. So we have launched on mobile app multi-journey QR ticket option, MJQRT, DMRC calls it, where it works as a pass for you. You just buy it one time and keep some balance, top it up through any digital payment, and you can have multiple journeys forever. So QR ticket working as a pass. So you don't need a card, in fact, if you have a multi-journey QR ticket. So these are some of the innovations which we are doing through technology innovations and interventions, and many of them are now AI based. In terms of providing DLP and O&M services also, now we are working on a lot of AI enabled tools which will further enhance the effectiveness and efficiency of the O&M services which we provide to our customers. Thank you.
Thank you, Pankaj ji, on sharing the insights of the innovation and the kind of work that you're doing with Delhi Metro. So, just to add a perspective, we at PwC, and I focus on urban mobility and how technology can, make the commuter's life more and more easier. Just future gazing, into the, a little bit. What do you feel is potentially the next leap that one will take in terms of maybe travel, like what's happening, for example, in Digi Yatra, like just your face recognition, and you don't need to have any sort of validation, no interface with any gates, nothing. So even for persons of determination, they have their face and they can just seamlessly access public transit systems in urban areas. So just you already spoke about what you have already achieved. Any future innovations that you at Hitachi are thinking about, which could change, be a game changer in terms of how transit happens for Indian cities?
Yeah, so we are working on many use cases based on AI and other latest technologies available with us. I can't disclose more detail on that, but yes, one use case which you referred already, which is a DigiYatra like solution in metro or RRTs, that is very much possible. So I think many people are working on that use case already, and I hope in near future we will see it live in action in some of the metro stations, because here like airports, you don't even need to do the KYC of the passengers, right? It is simple, you match the face and the gate opens without showing any ticket or card. So that is very much possible, and I am very hopeful that very soon we will see that Digi Yatra kind of situation in metro, RRT, and maybe in high-speed rail whenever it starts. And more detail, it is better not to disclose.
Thank you, Pankaj ji. So, I think just having the last, in the interest of time, we will move towards the concluding section. Sir, a couple of things which I wanted to, ask you to go in a little bit more detail. So, I think Kochi, for example, the water metro is one of the first of its kind in India. And, that is really becoming a guiding light for other water metros which can actually come up in various Indian cities. And again, in terms of decongesting the roads, because, with the metro, there is also challenges of, land acquisition and, the gestation period in actually putting the project is long. But I think with water metro, things can be a little bit more faster. So any insights that you want to share on, how the project came about, how it is happening, and, what could be the guiding principles for other Indian cities?
Yeah, actually, first of all, this particular experiment, which started some time back, and we implemented in the year 2023 when the Honorable Prime Minister inaugurated. See, we never thought that it will be so successful, because in 2 years we got 4 million passengers in a very limited number of routes. We are now, actually it's amazing. I call that it is just like a Rajnikant movie, and if it is released, there will be a queue for kilometers. Last Sunday when I went there, the people used to wait for 3 hours to get a ticket, and that kind of actually thing, people are actually very fond of that, and it is quite sustainable, and the boat is superb. The vessel which has been made in India, made in Cochin shipyard itself, and which has been adjudged as the best passenger boat in the world, and that is the kind of things India can produce. You think, and it can be produced. Now what has happened after this particular successful thing, the Honorable Prime Minister, when he actually inaugurated, he has said that why not we replicate this one in other places. Lo and behold, some months back we got an order from the Government of India that 21 locations in the country, you should actually introduce that. So we are actually on the toes, and there is a timeline. Actually within 5 years we have to complete all these things. So starting from the feasibilities to preparing the DPR to execute this. Because Dr. Kausal has just left, I was about to actually give him a business proposition. The biggest challenge for us is to get the boats, because it is not like that, like rolling stocks, you go to the things and in 1 year they will produce this much. The boats really take time. In 4.5 years, Cochin shipyard, which is one of the biggest shipyards, could produce only 20 boats. 20, now my fleet strength is 20 out of 78 planned. What I wanted to say is that the challenges are too many. Hitachi and some giants should come forward, because they will have a good business. If we are implementing out of the 21 location, even 20, we will be requiring more than 500 boats, and that too also very quickly. So the technology is there. It is fully electric, and we can actually make it hydrogen. Hydrogen boat has also been inaugurated by Honorable Prime Minister, made by Cochin shipyard. And what is happening is that, look, just like a metro rail, we in the morning actually fix the headway. That is how the boats work. And one terminal to the other terminal, it goes. So some terminals take 15 to 20 minutes, you reach there. But again, after if you put the headway 10 minutes, after 10 minutes you get another boat. So the reliability has been ensured along with the sustainability factor, so that even the poor to reach, everybody travel at a value for money. The ticket is not very costly, and somebody has put it in a social media, which became a viral, saying that it is $50 only And that is a kind of actually exclamation with the kind of comfort we are giving. This can wherever there is a water, a navigable water body. When we did the feasibility study of Mumbai, Mumbai needs it because Mumbai, more infrastructure is put in Mumbai, better for the country. We also realize that. So, Mumbai, then when we did study, I was praying that there should not be any negatives technologically, so that, but not a single negative came. Even we are covering a portion of the sea, but it is going to happen. It is going to be the largest water metro project, bigger than Cochin, because of the area and other things, and Mumbai deserves it and needs it. We will be doing that. But what is happening is that the best thing is that we integrated the fare or the, physically, the water metro with the metro. So a person can actually download one QR code and travel in both. So that is how we should actually think about. That is about water metro. I just wanted to tell साहब को इनको बताना है कि when I went to Europe recently, I asked a simple question whether you are using AI for anything in metro. Trust me, nobody is using. This is on some small thing saying that roster management, this, that. In the entirety of the operation or for the ease of travel for the passengers. So you have a very good potential in India to actually develop AI for metro, whether it is for passengers or for the operations or for production or for the project or whatever. It's a fantastic thing. Second thing I wanted to tell Nirav, which will make you a little happy, is that look, when earlier days, I have seen the DPRs prepared by various agencies. They were not actually, that is the DPR only confined to the metro line, whether underground, overground, this many piers and this many things will happen. Nobody actually has given a thought what a last mile and first mile connectivity should be in that project. So during a meeting recently, all the metro MDs with the secretary and everybody, a kind of decision has been taken. Henceforth, the metro DPR should contain a chapter fully on non-motorized transport, which inter alia means it has to tell how it is going to connect the railways or to the high-speed railway or something. Without that, the DPR will not be approved. So, the project money also will be, coming that, so NMT should not be just naam ke vaste kind of things. So these are good things which are happening. I am sure India will actually overtake in metro all other countries. I am sure about that. We are very good and we should be better.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing that insight. I think in the interest of time, I will outsource my work to Rajat ji. So just, if you want to share some last parting thoughts, maybe on the aspects of what, all of us have spoken about. But I think I remember that one critical part that you spoke about was in terms of the integration. So I think sir also touched upon that now, the last mile and first mile become very important. I think I also, wanted to touch upon one other aspect, that from a planning perspective, the concept of transit-oriented development. And how actually that from a planning perspective if done well can really contribute to the economic vibrancy or city GDP, if you will, that if done well it can actually have a big impact on that. So would you want to share some parting thought, and if from a planning perspective, can this become a point to be noted for Indian cities?
Yeah, sure. First of all, I would just like to continue with the sir point that in discussion with the ministry, we have kept a portion in our DPR for the feeder buses. So that is what is initiative has been taken for the future corridors. Why not we bring the buses and try to integrate with the convenience, what the commuter convenience to be brought out. Besides that, what you are touching about is TOD. Yeah, TOD concept has been talked a lot. Some works has been done in the few cities, but if we talk about Delhi and this area, NCR area, here TOD, Delhi DMRC has also done a lot of effort in declaring some zone as a TOD zones. But in UP, if we think about it, TOD was introduced by NCRTC, what exactly to be done. And even in the broader perspective we understand, we all talk about urban mobility, traveling from point A to B. But what effort we are doing towards the sustainable cities? It is a sustainable mode of transport. But still we have a commercial development in the core heart of the Delhi, and or some part has been shifted to the some areas like Gurugram and Noida. And people are traveling, like cost of living has gone so high in Delhi. So what is the solution? So solution is to do the master planning properly of the upcoming development and do the TOD kind of a thing, like based on the corridors. You have to do such development so that the people concentrating need to travel less. That is the whole concept of TOD. They should not, my target is not that the people, I am providing a convenience that people live in Meerut and travel to Delhi. But whole idea is not about that. Still 82 kilometers if everybody going to travel, that will not solve the equation of what we are talking about. So for the regional development, we need a centers near to Meerut also, where the commercial development or a mixed-use development come across the areas identified, which now UP government has taken a lot. They are bringing out new Meerut where the residential is there, even the commercial development also they are bringing. So TOD concept now bringing up, but still the pace at what the development is required, that need to be increased. Because the area around, if you talk about in this area up to Ghaziabad, we don't have a space. Beyond Ghaziabad, only much more development can be planned and do. The open available spaces is quite less. Similarly, if you talk about Gurugram, you can reach beyond Mysore to do that kind of development. Even here, we have to go beyond. Pace we has to increase so that the result can be given. Even similar to the VCF instruments, which is a main, like we all know, metro systems and RRTS system is a capital intensive system. So we need such kind of initiatives parallelly along the implementation of the project. But normally the operations start and then these concepts are being pushed upon to get the return out of that. So that thing we have to sort it down. Even we are discussing with the ministry, why not like for the sustainability part, TOD concept policy should be made available to all the states so they can follow the universal thing. Why the states are pushing individual policies. So that kind of initiatives need to be done, and the master planning of these areas need to be quicker. Immediately, like if you talk about sustainable green, why can't we kept a provision for a captive solar plant? We have taken a captive solar plant provision in UP. But why can't we, at the DPR stage itself, state governments can identify a land parcel for a captive solar plant so that it can be in functional the day when the whole system is functional, which will help in the overall sustainability, because it takes a lot of time in approval and concurrence of these policy and making a return out of it.
Thank you so much. So I want to end with just thanking all our esteemed panelists. But before we let them go, and we have time for one or two questions from the audience. So please introduce yourself, ask the question, and please address whom you want the answer from.
Manager from the railways. When is the Delhi Meerut RRTS likely to be completed?
So as far as Delhi Meerut is concerned, 55 kilometers already operational, I've already told. And the 6 kilometers, that is from Meerut South to Shabdinagar, just CMRS inspection has happened. And the Delhi portion of Sarai Kale Khan to New Shoknagar, and the later part of Shabdinagar to Modipur, the trials are underway. So we are targeting to go for a CMRS by June end.
Complete system being completed, all 82, 84
so
kilometers.
That is what
is the date?
So that is a month. By June end, we are targeting to go for CMRS for the balance.
June 2025?
Yes.
Excellent.
That is a schedule timeline given to us, and this is what we are completing in the schedule cost also.
Hello, Jai Hind. I am Rajan Shibbar, Senior Advisor to Skoda Group. We are having operations. We are world leader in technology in 56 countries. Now, my question, what you mentioned, is very correct. That our group is going to invest 2 lakh CR in India in transportation, in metros and rolling stock and other things. What you mentioned, point which was they were asking that why can't we have all the metros same specs, so that every state when they are applying from there, from Skoda headquarters, they have to interact here with the MOUD and others, that every state has a different. So this is a very valid point. I would like that in case if you take it up with our government, we are also taking it up. And our Mr. Gadkari visited with 11 secretaries, the Skoda group, and he liked all the technologies. He says bring trolley buses, bring electric new generation buses, new metro, aluminium technology, etc. So that's a very valid point. My point is kindly take up this so that we have the same specs and they can participate in all the tenders. Thank you.
Thank you. We are already taking it up. Thanks for the good comment.
So I think with that we will end this session. Just to conclude, I think we are in very safe hands. We have people from the planning side, from the
One
metro.
last question. Just 1 second.
Okay, please.
Since my name is Ashish Agrawal, I'm a retired general manager from Railways. Since the heads of Kochi Metro are there and somebody from NCR, it's very, very senior officer from NCR. I just want to make one small thought that whenever we travel to foreign countries, we find that all the metro stations and the RRTS type of stations, they've got huge parking lots. And in India, we find that that is a very big shortfall, that most of the metro stations do not have something like a multi-parking or a huge parking lot so that people can park their car and travel by metro, come back and take their transport. So in that direction, for NCRTC, are there any plans to make huge multi-level parking slots? Thank you.
So right now we are providing a parking facility in the most of the stations. Like presently our parking facility in Meerut South seems to be full. Yeah, there is a requirement, but we are just waiting that let the full system open up, and then we will talk about which areas need more parking facilities or a requirement of multi-lateral or any kind of development, because we are targeting for few developments in the Meerut area also, so that we can mix development can be done, including the parking spaces. So that is all in the plan, but first target is to just make the system operational, and then it will be taken up.
I should tell you in a very different way. You know, when the metro, I'm not talking about the RRTS, in the Western countries, many of the places you see, the metro station do not have any parking area. The reason being, when you are thinking about a mass transport system, why to actually bring the cars? But here, for the first mile and last mile connectivity problem, the cars are also there, and when a particular sanction is accorded to start a metro system, it is mandatory that parking areas should be there near the stations. But in some places like in Kerala, where the land pressure on the land is very high, we have no adequate parking areas. So what we decided, by using the NMT funds, we are actually making multi-level car parkings. So that actually saves a little time. Now 3 are coming up. So that is one way of doing it. Or actually in Delhi, they did a very good thing. If there is no parking area in a particular station, there may be a parking area which is very, next to next station. So make a parking hub, make a app and find out the places and park there and travel by metro. That also is possible and it's good. But till the time we reach that level of the Western countries in this particular aspect of sustainability, not using the other vehicles, but also only using that, I think parking area management and parking area providing is an integral part of any metro system or RRTS or something, because we can't afford to have that kind of things. Or be like Amsterdam, everything is in cycle. So that is another way which we have a long way to go on that particular way. But it is, the technology has helped over the period of time for parking management.
So I think in the interest of time, we will conclude the session. Do we have time for one last question? I think the panel is so engaging that the audience is continuing to want more questions. Do we have time for one last question? Okay, but this is the last question.
My name is H.K. Sharma. I am Senior Vice President of one of the consulting firm ICT, Intercontinental Consultant Technology Private Limited. Since we are involved in rail metro design and supervision, so we need to know the status of Delhi Manesar Alwar or Delhi Panvel route from NCRT authorities. Please give some lights. Thank you.
Yeah, the next corridor of Delhi SNB, we call it Delhi SNB, which is a Shahjahan Imrana Bahera Road complex and just on the border of the Rajasthan. So Sarai Kale Khan to SNB corridor DPR is being forwarded by the ministry for the interministerial consultation, like in the PIB stage. So soon we will get the sanction and we will start the working at the ground for this corridor. And similarly for the next another corridors towards Sarai Kale Khan to Panipat to Karnal. Both are in the same stage.
So I think we had a very engaging panel discussion. If you look at it from, we had engaging conversations and deep insights from RRTS perspective, from a very successful metro, and from Hitachi in terms of the private sector contributing to urban transit. I think after hearing them, I feel very confident that we are in very safe hands and the country is moving in the right direction in terms of getting a modal shift, having more and more people using using mass transit systems, and therefore contributing not only to increased deliverability in our cities, but also with a very laser sharp focus on sustainability and being environmentally conscious. So thank you so much for being a wonderful audience, and a big round of applause for our wonderful panelists.
I think let's have one more round of applause for sitting through so many challenges, but our panelists pulled it off quite brilliantly. And now, to felicitate our panelists for their efforts and their contributions into this conference, I would like to invite on stage Mr. Sanjeev Sachdev, MD of Aurotoshi, to present them with the mementos. First up, we have Mr. Loknath Bahera. Next up, we have Mr. Pankaj Bhatia. Next up, our moderator, Mr. Nirav Shah. Come on everyone, let's keep applauding them. And last but not the least, we have Mr. Rajat Gosain. Thank you so much for this brilliant session.